Mira was 8 the year everything changed. Her father, Mr. Obiezi, still carried grief like a backpack on his shoulders. Losing his wife had hollowed him out. He wasn't the same man anymore. He didn't laugh loudly. He didn't pray with his daughter at night. He didn't even look in the mirror the same way. So when he met Adane, people said it was a good thing. She will bring warm food and sunlight back into that house. She's a good woman. She has 2 children already, so she knows how to care. Nobody asked Mira what she thought. The wedding was quiet, simple, fast. Nobody wanted to drag it out. By the time they moved into the slightly bigger house at Umuokwe, everything looked peaceful on the outside. But peace is not always truth. Sometimes it's just the silence before a storm. Adani walked in with her children, Amara, 12, and Somtu, 10. They were polite, too polite. I didn't know that children could pretend that well. That first week was soft, too soft, the kind of soft that hides thorns. Adane cooked food for everybody except Mira. She cleaned the rooms, but not Mira's. She spoke to everyone in a tender voice except Mira. But Mira chalked it up to adjustments. Maybe she's still trying to settle, she thought. Maybe she's shy. Maybe she's overwhelmed. But the thing about wickedness is that it doesn't stay quiet for long. By the 3rd week, Adani's meal face arrived like her matan, dry, harsh, and unforgiving. Mira, sweep that place. Mira, why are you eating so much? Mira, why are you always like this? She blamed Mira for anything and everything. When her own son broke a plate, she slapped Mira. You are the older one, why didn't you stop him? When the food got burnt, she pinched Mira on the arm. If you were useful, you would have noticed it. Her father was never home enough to see the truth. He traveled for business, and every time he left, the house became a battlefield.
There are children who grow tall, and there are children who grow quiet. Mira grew quiet. She started walking softly so she wouldn't disturb. She started eating small portions so she wouldn't be noticed. She started waking up early to clean plates she didn't dirty. Her notebooks were filled with drawings of the sun because she needed light somewhere. But even in the middle of the pain, she talked to God. Not loudly, not like her mother used to, but with small whispers. God, please see me. God, please help me. God, please don't forget me. And God listened. But sometimes his answers take time to mature. One afternoon, Amara accused Mira of stealing her necklace, a necklace Mira had never touched. Adanya dragged Mira to the backyard and beat her with a broom until her legs shook. Somto watched. Amara smirked. Only the mango tree stood as witness. When Mira limped to her room that night, she whispered again, God, why didn't you stop her? She couldn't hear it yet, but heaven was already planning the turnaround. When Mira turned 12, she met someone who changed everything. Her new class teacher, Mrs. Uju, noticed the way Mira always sat alone. She noticed how quickly Mira apologized for things she didn't do. She noticed the small scars running down her arms. One Monday morning, Mira's sleeve lifted while she wrote in her note. Mrs. Uju saw the dark, almost purple bruise near her elbow. My dear, what happened to your hand? Mira flinched. She wasn't used to gentle questions. I fell, she whispered. Mrs. Uju bent down. Tell me the truth. Something inside Mira cracked, like a small wall finally giving way. Tears fell before words. Silent tears, the kind people pretend not to see. Miss Uju quietly took her to the school counselor. For the first time in years, Mira spoke. Not everything, but enough. Enough for adults to pay attention. Enough for the school to call her father. Enough for the truth to begin to unravel.
Her father came to the school angry. Not at Mira, but at the possibility of a lie. My wife is a good woman, he insisted. She takes care of everyone. Mira must be misunderstanding something. But when the counselor asked Mira to remove her cardigan, and her father saw the marks on her back, his voice died. His heart dropped, and guilt swallowed him whole. I didn't know, he whispered. Mira, my daughter, I didn't know. He went home that night like a man carrying stones on his back. And for the first time ever, he watched carefully. He saw the way Adani yelled. He saw the way Mira froze at sudden movements. He saw how Amara lied effortlessly. He saw how Somto rolled his eyes when Mira walked past. He saw everything, and he broke. That same week, he packed Mira's bags and took her to Auntie Nello, his late wife's younger sister. Auntie Nello lived in a small two-bedroom flat. The walls were painted sky blue. The living room smelled like lavender and jollof rice. The moment Mira entered, she felt something strange. Peace. Auntie Nello held her quietly. No loud questions, no pressure to talk. Just arms, warm arms, safe arms. At night, she prayed over Mira. Father, every wound in this child's heart, heal it, restore her spirit, show her who she is in you. Mira cried silently, not from pain this time, but from relief. In the weeks that followed, Auntie Nello taught her how to breathe again, how to sit at a table without fear, how to speak without trembling, how to believe she wasn't a burden. And every morning she reminded her, you are not what that woman called you. You are who God says you are.
Teenage Mira was a different version of herself. Still quiet, but no longer broken. Still gentle, but now steady. Still soft, but no longer weak. She discovered she loved computers, loved solving puzzles, loved creating colors on a screen. Auntie Nello bought her a small second-hand laptop, and that was the seed God needed. At 15, she learned Photoshop from YouTube. At 16, she learned web design. At 17, she was doing flyers for churches, logos for small businesses, and website headers for local brands. At 18, she got an internship in a tech hub. They loved her, not just her skill, her spirit. At 19, she started teaching other girls from difficult homes. Her sessions were always full because she didn't just teach tech, she taught healing. There's more inside you, she would tell them. You're not useless. You're not a mistake. God didn't bring you this far to abandon you. Her story spread. People shared it online. Pastors invited her to speak. Schools asked for her workshops. And then, God lifted the curtain a little higher. By 22, Mira registered her Tech Academy, the Lighthouse program, a digital training center for girls living through pain, poverty, rejection, or abuse. Her first cohort had 12 girls. Her second had 40. Her third had 75. Brands partnered with her, newspapers interviewed her, and the governor's wife invited her for an empowerment initiative. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was rising. She was the girl who grew in the shadows but learned how to carry light. But while she was shining, something else was happening somewhere else. Adani's life was collapsing. Her own children turned on her. Somto dropped out of school. Amara got pregnant and moved out. Her marriage to Mr. Obieze fell apart. Her business collapsed from debt. People whispered behind her back, maybe it's karma. Maybe she's paying for what she did. Wickedness doesn't end well. Adani had always believed she was in control, until God allowed life to show her her own reflection. She heard about Mira's success everywhere she turned, on the radio, on Instagram, on flyers, on TV segments. And the more she heard, the more guilt ate her from the inside out. One night she broke down crying. For the first time in her life, she prayed a confused, scattered prayer. God, help me find forgiveness somewhere. Let her not hate me. Mira was sitting in her office reviewing a website design when her receptionist knocked softly. Ma, someone is here to see you. Who? The receptionist hesitated. She says her name is Adani. A coldness spread through Mira's chest. Not fear, not anger, just a quiet shock. Let her in, she whispered. The woman who entered did not look like the villain from Mira's childhood. Her hair was scattered, her eyes were red, her clothes looked tired. She knelt immediately. No pride, no excuses. Mira, her voice trembled. I came to beg. The room felt still. Mira, I was wicked. I was blind. I was insecure. I was jealous. I hurt you because I couldn't handle myself. I destroyed the home your mother built. And now, everything has fallen apart. She sobbed into her palms like a child. Please, she whispered, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm begging you. Mira's heart was beating loudly. This was the woman who made her childhood feel like prison. This was the woman whose face used to frighten her in her sleep. And now, she was kneeling. But Mira didn't feel hatred. She felt something else. A strength she didn't recognize at first. Healing. Mama Adane, she said quietly, I forgave you long before today. Adane sobbed harder. But listen, Mira, continued gently. Forgiveness doesn't mean I can bring you close again. I healed, but I also learned. I let go, but I also grew wise. I am at peace, but I have boundaries. Adane looked up with wet eyes.
So you won't allow me into your life? Mira shook her head softly. I will pray for you, but I cannot return to the place that almost destroyed me. Adane broke completely, crying into her hands. Mira didn't hug her. She didn't shout. She didn't gloat. She simply said, May God heal the wounds that made you wound me. May He restore you the way He restored me. And that was the moment the story closed. The villain walked away, not punished by Mira, but humbled by life. And Mira stood tall, not because she won, but because she healed. That night, Mira stood by her office window looking at the city lights. She wasn't the girl with bruises anymore. She wasn't the girl afraid of footsteps. She wasn't the girl begging God to see her. She was the girl God lifted, the woman God preserved, the survivor God turned into a voice for others. And as she breathed in the night air, she whispered, Thank you, Lord, for pulling me out, for making me whole, for teaching me that I am not what happened to me. I am who you say I am.